Alright lads, and welcome back to another video. Now, it's another week past, obviously, we're still in lockdown pretty much, but it means it's another week closer to hopefully some form of normality sometime soon. I'm still working from home in my job at the moment, so hopefully soon enough I'll be back in my office, etc., and getting back to a normal sort of life. One thing that has been quite consistent within this period of lockdown though, apart from the long days and feeling like your life is a bit worthless sometimes, is that the SPFL have managed to probably release enough reconstruction plans and statements and yada 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 to fill us up for every single day of lockdown. So it's been a pleasing time in that aspect, seeing the absolute carnage that Scottish football is able to produce within a 12-week period. So as you know by the title of this video, and what I'm away to talk about, is indeed another reconstruction plan by the SPFL. But this one seems like it's got a bit of legs behind it. So in the last few days, Hearts sort of philanthropist, I believe his name's James Anderson, has pledged to plunge around about £3 million at the start and then upwards of to about £4 million into the Scottish game. And hopefully that will disperse right down into the lower league clubs and every single SPFL club, all 42. However, a lot of people are suggesting that the top clubs, the clubs that have money at their disposal, should turn down the amount of money they are offered in order for the lower clubs to get more money, the ones that need it more. And I agree with that side of it. So that was the first part of this week's whole drama and debacle. His money coming into Scottish football will allow clubs to have a bit of breathing space in this period where there will be no games for them. And a lot of clubs would have struggled financially without this sort of backing. It's not exactly the most audacious amount of backing you're ever going to receive. If the same scenario was happening down in England, I'm almost certain there would be more money involved, but James Anderson is a good man for doing it in the first place anyway. But because he has been involved with Hearts, and Anne Budge was the person that brought him into Scottish football and basically allowed this whole money situation to happen with James Anderson, it brought a lot of speculation around that Hearts could perhaps actually benefit from this. The SPFL tried to kind of cover that up a wee bit by saying when the announcement was made of his investment in Scottish football that there were no strings attached. Well, now there's another reconstruction plan coming in place that seems to have made the most sense out of all of them, but it benefits Hearts. It obviously benefits the other relegated teams as well, but most of all it benefits Hearts. So has there actually been a bit of I scratch your back, you scratch mine sort of thing going on? I'm not here to specifically talk about the ins and outs of that side of it. However, the reconstruction plan in itself is a 14-10-10-10 split, which yes, would make it 44 teams in the SPFL instead of the current 42. Obviously, the current setup is 12-10-10-10. So literally, the main club that this will save is Hearts, because the only league that is actually getting any bigger is the Premiership. Now yes, other teams are obviously going to benefit from it because they will get a promotion, or in Partick Thistle's case, Stranraer's case, etc, etc, they will stay up in the league they were in the previous season. However, it's pretty obvious that Hearts are going to get the best deal out of this because they in no way, shape or form wanted to be part of a championship which is likely to only be 27 games long and starting in mid-October next season. There was no way that they wanted that to happen, and this proposal really does benefit them in that sense. The proposal would see Dundee United and Inverness promoted from the Championship, and as previously mentioned, Hearts staying up instead of getting automatically relegated from the Premiership. It would see Raith Rovers and Falkirk come up into the Championship, and once again the team saved from relegation being Partick Thistle in this case. In League 1, it would see Cove Rangers and Edinburgh City promoted into League 1 and Stranraer being saved from relegation. And in League 2, it would most likely see Kelty Hearts and Brora Rangers, considering they won both the Lowland League and the Highland League respectively last season. Unless they turned round and said they didn't want to be part of the SPFL, which I literally can't see happening at all, they would most likely be the two teams involved in League 2 next season, with Brecon obviously avoiding any pyramid playoff that they would have been usually due to take part in. So my overall thoughts on a 14-10-10-10 split I think it's the one that makes the most sense. At the end of the day, it means that no one really draws the short straw, because teams are saved from relegation, teams are promoted that would have otherwise felt a bit aggrieved if they didn't get the chance to really gain promotion in the proper way. Likes of Falkirk, for example, they were only, 1 point off of Raith Rovers at the top of League One, and Raith Rovers obviously went up automatically through the points per game ratio, and Falkirk would have been left down in League One once again. But with this reconstruction plan, it gives them the chance to come up into the Championship. And obviously the relegated teams such as the aforementioned Hearts, Partick Thistle, Stranraer and possibly Brecon. It saves all of them, and that can only be a good thing for them. And the two teams that were looking to get lost in this, Celtic Hearts and Brora Rangers, it would be brilliant to see them finally within the SPFL setup. And to be honest, they're the two teams that I really want to see succeed out of all of this. And if this sort of setup, the reconstruction plan, has to go ahead in order for that to happen, then I would like that to happen. However, there is obviously a massive caveat of there would be a vote that would need to take place in order to get this put through. We're not at that stage just yet, a formal vote process yet, but if it does indeed end up going to a vote, it will need 11 of the 12 Scottish Premiership clubs to agree on it, and it will need sufficient backing from the lower league clubs also in order to get pushed through. Now, Neil Doncaster seems to think that there is sufficient backing for this proposal if it does indeed get to a voting stage, so should we have our fingers crossed for this one? Should we actually be believing that this one could actually go through? I'm not entirely sure, because at the end of the day, there's been so many ones turned down. I think this one has been the only one that's been classed as a permanent change, so is that going to make other teams back it more? I know Aberdeen are one that isn't up for a permanent change, so there's one out of the 12 Premiership teams already probably not going to back the proposal. So it'll be an interesting one to see what happens. Next week should be when all the drama happens once again in Scottish football. Another week and yet more drama within Scottish football. I tell you, they've been keeping us entertained during lockdown, that's for sure. As far as the leagues would look, I'm only going to really cover the Championship because it's pretty obvious how the Premiership would look. Just last season's with Dundee United and Inverness included. But in my case for the Championship, it would be Alloa Athletic, Arbroath, Ayr United, Dundee, Dunfermline of course, Falkirk, Morton, Partick Thistle, Queen of the South and Raith Rovers. Now that's quite a tasty league. It will be very competitive. Dundee are obviously going to have a massive go at it next season in terms of trying to get promoted. We'll have two derbies back, in Dunfermline's case, that being Falkirk and Raith Rovers, and when we can eventually get back to games, how tasty would those fixtures be? And overall, it's just a pretty well balanced league. You're going to have teams like Partick Thistle hopefully trying to at least have a decent season for once in the last few years. And you're going to have real competitiveness once again in the Championship. It's been a common theme within the last few years that the Championship has been the league to watch in terms of competitiveness, and you just don't know who's going to win. But there's always ended up being a team that has been relatively stronger than the others. But with this setup, I don't really see a team that is on paper definitely going to be the strongest team in that league. I can see anyone being able to beat anyone on their day once again in the Championship, and it just been quite an exciting league to watch overall, to be honest. So give me your thoughts on this whole league reconstruction business once again. We've obviously had a lot to chat about in terms of this type of stuff in the last 12 weeks or so, and it's going to continue to rumble on. Hopefully it'll get sorted sooner rather than later, because at the end of the day the Premiership is going back at the start of August, so they have to get it sorted relatively soon. Will 14-10-10-10 go ahead and get put through in the voting process, or do you believe that 12-10-10-10 will stay in place for yet another season, and teams like Hearts, Celtic Hearts, Brora Rangers, etc. will just have to kind of make do with the situation at hand? And that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, comment down below. As I said, your thoughts on all this reconstruction business. Subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.